Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Recap of The Bold and the Beautiful from December 2 to 6. A surprising turn of events at Forrester Creations. The Bold and the Beautiful recaps for December 2 to 6 cover a wild week in Los Angeles. Carter got fired, then took over, Steffi declared war, Remy got to know Sheila, and so much more. Ridge, Thorsten K. offered Carter, Lawrence St. Victor, a shocking ultimatum. Give up Hope, Annika Noel, or give up his job. Carter chose Hope, and Ridge promptly fired him on the spot. He ousted Carter from the company and his life. No more COO and no more best friend. At the same time, Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, read her daughter for filth. How dare she try to steal Forrester Creations from the Forresters? What were she and Carter thinking? Hope had a lot of reasons, but none of them were good. She warned Hope this could cost Carter big time, and obviously, she was right. Ridge leaned on Brooke as he came to terms with Carter's betrayal. Carter was a huge part of his world, and now it's clear that his loyalties lie with Hope and not with his family. He then pointed the finger squarely in Hope's direction, which caused a huge rift in their romance. Brooke did not like that at all. As for Carter, he arrived at the cabin and updated Hope that he was now unemployed. Yes, it's bad, but he has no regrets. He chose Hope and saw this as a beginning to their story and not an end. He promised to never give up on her or on them. Over at the Cliff House, Taylor, Rebecca Budig, and Steffi, Jacqueline McKins Wood, got in some good FaceTime. And as usual, their chat led to Steffi trying to parent trap her parents. She even brought up the fact her father had yet to remarry Brooke. That had to be a sign, right? Steffi no sooner got to the office than Ridge dropped the bomb about Carter. Steffi understandably lost it and blamed it all on Hope. She ran off to confront Hope, who had already been torn into by her mother. Hope gave as good as she got while having it out with Brooke, but not so much when Steffi tore into her. Steffi made it crystal clear Hope would never step foot in SC again. Back at the office, Katie, Heather Tom, lightly teased Will, Crew Morrow, about his new romance with Electra, Lania Grace. The young lady then showed up and had a fun chat with them both, including talking about how lucky she felt to have run into Remy, Christian Weissman. How nice to have a friend in town. Later, Electra and Will went to Il Giardino, where Remy was hard at work getting to know Sheila, Kimberlyn Brown, and telling her all about his special crush. He was overjoyed to see Electra and Will come in and made it a point to reminisce with Electra. Thursday, December 5, 2024. Steffi continued to berate Hope, which finally led to Hope breaking up and telling the truth about that day in the design room with Finn, Tanner Novlin. It didn't make much difference though. Hope was still out, Carter was still fired, and Steffi was still beyond angry. Ridge was very the same level of fury at the office. He griped to Taylor about the whole ordeal. Taylor was shocked and tried to make sense of it all. Ridge was sure he knew the source of Carter's betrayal, Hope. It was all Hope's fault. Across the hall, Brooke updated Katie, Heather Tom, on what's going on with Hope and Carter. Their relationship, the attempted coup, and Carter's ultimate downfall. To say Katie was shaken is an understatement. When Brooke was done spilling the tea, she went across the hall just in time to hear Ridge point the finger at Hope. She didn't like that and called him out. Meanwhile, Will and Electra lunched at Il Giardino, and she had a great time catching up with Remy. Don't worry though, Will, nothing has ever happened or will ever happen between them. Promise. She kissed Will while Remy stood across the room, secretly giving them the stink eye. Friday, December 6, 2024. Eric, John McCook, Steffi, and Ridge got the shock of their lives when Justin Aaron D. Spears announced Carter, Lawrence St. Victor, duped them all. He's not the manager of FC and the boss of them all, and there's nothing Justin could do about it. No sooner did they begin reeling than Carter came in and flexed his newfound power. He refused to back down and grabbed at the Forrester throne. He made it clear there would be no more favoritism under his watch. The Logans would be just as important as the family. The Forresters were furious, to say the least. Meanwhile, Hope dropped several hints to Brooke about what was about to come. Brooke was just as furious as Ridge about her daughter's betrayal. She warned Hope she was playing with fire and would most certainly get burned. At the same time, Poppy, Romy Park, visited her jailbird daughter. Luna, Lisa Yamada, squeezed out some fake tears and fake apologies. When Bill was brought up though, she brightened right up and she was practically beaming when Bill Dawn Diamond showed up after getting her newest letter. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, emotions ran high, secrets teetered on the edge of revelation, and Forrester Creations faced an unexpected shakeup that left everyone reeling. Here's your in-depth recap of all the drama that unfolded. Monday, a quiet storm brews. The week began with tension simmering beneath the surface at Forrester Creations. Ridge Forrester found himself torn between loyalty to his family and his growing frustration with the unpredictable antics of his son Thomas. Meanwhile, Brooke Logan, still staunchly against Thomas' involvement in anything Forrester-related, was determined to protect Hope and Douglas from his manipulations. Thomas, on the other hand, played his cards close to the chest, presenting a facade of redemption. He spent time working on designs, subtly impressing Ridge, who was eager to believe in his son's reform. However, Thomas' sinister smirk whenever Brooke's back was turned suggested he was still up to his old tricks. Across town, Liam and Hope were basking in their reunion as a couple and a family with Beth and Douglas. But Hope's lingering guilt over her role in Thomas' supposed death was a shadow she couldn't entirely shake. Liam tried to reassure her, but it was clear her conscience might be a weak point Thomas could exploit. Tuesday, Quinn's warning. Quinn Fuller began to sense that all was not well in her world. Her intuition kicked in when she overheard Shauna Fulton talking about Ridge. Despite Shauna's protests that nothing untoward had happened between her and Ridge, Quinn suspected her friend's feelings for him were more than platonic. At Forrester Creations, Steffi and Zoe Buckingham worked on the upcoming line, but Steffi couldn't help but notice Zoe's growing rapport with Thomas. Suspicious of Thomas' motives, Steffi questioned Zoe about her feelings for him. Zoe assured her that Thomas was focused on proving himself and seemed genuine, but Steffi wasn't convinced. Meanwhile, Eric Forrester confronted Ridge about the growing rift in the family. Eric urged Ridge to find common ground with Brooke before their marriage was beyond repair. Ridge, however, remained stubborn, convinced that Brooke's animosity toward Thomas was unreasonable and unhelpful. Wednesday, secrets surface. The midweek episode delivered a major bombshell. Thomas, ever the schemer, orchestrated a surprise meeting with Hope to discuss their co-parenting arrangement. During their conversation, Thomas feigned vulnerability, expressing regret for his past actions and thanking Hope for giving him a second chance with Douglas. Hope, always empathetic, began to soften. However, Thomas' true intentions were revealed later when he met with Vinny. Thomas confessed he was playing the long game, determined to win Hope over by proving he was a changed man, even if it meant manipulating every situation to his advantage. At the same time, Brooke uncovered a clue about Thomas' latest scheme. While visiting Forrester Creations, she stumbled upon a cryptic sketch Thomas had left behind, a design featuring a subtle message that hinted at his obsession with Hope. Armed with this discovery, Brooke was more determined than ever to expose him. Thursday, a boardroom bombshell. Thursday brought the promised shakeup at Forrester Creations. During a board meeting, Ridge shocked everyone by announcing that Thomas would be taking on a larger role in the company. Ridge defended his decision, arguing that Thomas' talent and recent behavior warranted the promotion. Brooke, furious, stormed into the meeting to voice her objections. She accused Ridge of being blinded by paternal love and failing to see Thomas' true nature. The confrontation escalated, with Ridge accusing Brooke of being unwilling to forgive, while Brooke insisted she was protecting the family from Thomas' dangerous tendencies. The other Forrester family members were caught in the crossfire. Steffi, torn between supporting her father and agreeing with Brooke's concerns, tried to mediate, but her attempts fell flat. Eric, ever the patriarch, called for calm, but his pleas went unheard as Ridge and Brooke's argument reached a boiling point. Friday, fallout and factions. By the end of the week, the fallout from Ridge's announcement was palpable. Brooke and Ridge's marriage seemed more precarious than ever, with both refusing to budge from their positions. Brooke returned home, confiding in Hope about the day's events and vowing to find definitive proof of Thomas' schemes. Meanwhile, Thomas celebrated his victory in private, confident that his position at Forrester Creations would bring him closer to Hope. He shared his triumph with Vinny, who warned him not to underestimate Brooke. Thomas, however, brushed off the warning, certain he could outmaneuver her. Elsewhere, Steffi and Liam had a heart-to-heart about the growing tension within the family. Steffi admitted she was worried about her father's judgment, while Liam expressed concern about Hope's vulnerability to Thomas' manipulations. The two vowed to keep a close eye on Thomas, knowing he was a master at hiding his true intentions. A shocking preview. As the week came to a close, viewers were left with tantalizing hints of what's to come. A cryptic phone call Thomas received suggested he might not be working alone. Who could be pulling strings behind the scenes? And with Brooke and Ridge's marriage hanging by a thread, will they be able to find common ground? Or is this the end of their epic love story? One thing is certain, The Bold and the Beautiful continues to deliver jaw-dropping twists and turns, keeping fans on the edge of their seats. Next week promises even more intrigue, as the battle for Forrester creations heats up and Thomas' machinations threaten to spiral out of control. Stay tuned.